What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Sports Degenerate podcast. Today we are going to talk about Justin Herbert. For you guys that have been following me for a while, you guys know I am a die-hard Chargers fan, born and raised in San Diego. But what happened to Justin Herbert in that playoff loss to the Texans? Why did he play so bad? Why did he basically choke that game away? After being basically flawless the whole regular season, why did he go in that playoff game and have 4 turnovers? Was it all his fault? Was it on the coaching? What happened? That's why I rewatched all 32 of Justin Herbert's pass attempts in this playoff game to get the answer to that question of what happened to the Chargers, what happened to Justin Herbert. If you are just listening on the podcast, go ahead and check out my YouTube channel. I'm going to have all the clips of all the plays on the screen, so go ahead and check it out. Let's hop into it. First pass attempt of the game was a completion to Ladd McConkey. It was a play action pass, one-step drop. The first read was to Ladd McConkey. Herbert sees its zone right away, finds Ladd running a slant across the middle, and fires a pass to him for the completion. Nothing too special here, but good play. Next is a completion to Dissly. It's a normal shotgun pass. It looks like Dissly is the first read here. Dissly goes in motion. You can see the defense shift in reaction to the motion. Herbert sees number 39 for the Texans kind of follow Dissly here. Herbert quickly assesses the defense post-snap. He sees the linebackers around Dissly are playing soft coverage, so he fires it in between the linebackers for a completion. Simple but successful play. Third pass attempt of the game, probably Herbert's best play of the game and one of the best plays I've seen him make all season. It's a completion to Fisk, but Fisk was not the first read on this play. Great improv by Herbert. So it's a play action pass. The first read right after the play action is to Matlock on a flat route. Matlock motions right pre-snap, but he was covered right away. But Herbert knows this is man coverage now because Matlock's defender followed him all the way through the motion, all the way through the route. So Herbert knows he just has to find an open man because of the man coverage. After Matlock, he looks for Fisk coming across on a drag route, but he was also covered. And then he quickly checks Johnson running an opposite drag route. He's also covered. At this point, Herbert feels and sees the pressure on him. He extends the play with his legs while still keeping his eyes downfield and makes a 10 out of 10 great throw over the defender to Fisk, but also great hands by Fisk. Great catch, but that is a great play by Herbert. I give him credit. That is a great play. That is a playoff level winning quarterback play. Unfortunately, the play following that, the pass attempt following that, is a bad play by Herbert. So it's an incomplete pass to Ladd McConkey. Dobbin goes in motion pre-snap. The defender follows him, so Herbert knows it's most likely some type of man coverage. Herbert first looks for Johnson on a quick hitch route, but he sees that the defender is not fooled. Ladd is running a slant and go here, and is great route running by Ladd. He beats the defender right away. Herbert sees that, and he makes the right decision to throw the ball towards Ladd, but he misses the throw. He overthrows Ladd McConkey. I will say it definitely wasn't like a super easy throw to make. It would have had to been a perfect layered throw in between two defenders. But one, we've seen Herbert make that play before. And two, in a playoff game, you have to make that throw. If you want to be a playoff winning quarterback, that is a throw you have to make. So that is a mistake by Herbert. 100%, in my opinion, that's on Herbert. Next pass attempt is a completion to Dissly. This is just a designed screen to Dissly, nothing special. All of the motion pre-snap is just eye candy for the defense, and you can even see Ladd McConkey and Johnston don't even look up on the routes. It's a screen. Next is an incomplete pass to Dissly. This was not on Herbert at all. This was one of the plays where Herbert's team sold on him. Herbert's team let Herbert down. So the Texans got bailed out here. The Texans played way too soft of a zone. There were 3 guys open on this play. Dobbins, McConkey, and Dissly all open. Herbert gets pressure right away, but he steps up in the pocket and avoids the sack, which is very good. He then uses his eyes to make the defender bite on Ladd McConkey's route. You can see he looks towards Ladd. The defender bites on it, which then makes Dissly wide open. He then makes a great throw while being tackled to Dissly. So three great plays by Herbert on this play. He first avoids the sack. He then makes the defender bite on Ladd McConkey's route, and then makes the throw while being tackled, all for Dissly to drop the ball. Disley dropped the ball, and it could have been a potential touchdown. This was not on Herbert at all, but this was a huge play of the game. So he didn't make a mistake the play before this, but then his team let him down after this. All these things compile into losing a game, right? But let's continue. The pass attempt right after that Disley drop was a completion to Chark. Herbert knew he just needed to get yards to get into field goal range at this point, so nothing special here. Herbert sees the defensive back as giving Chark like 10 yards of cushion, so he hits Chark on a comeback route for an easy completion to get a field goal. But that drop by Disley turns a potential touchdown into only a field goal. That's a huge swing of the game. The next pass attempt doesn't count because the Texans committed a penalty here, so it doesn't count. But I want to talk about this play. Herbert gets pressured pretty quick here, and he throws off balance and ends up getting his arm hit, which could have been really bad. It could have ended up in an interception. I understand what Herbert was thinking here. The defense was in zone, which left the middle of the field open, and Johnson had a step on his defender. But there was way too much pressure. He was off balance. He should have stepped up more in the pocket and used his legs. He could have gotten a good chunk of yards running. I just don't think Herbert uses his legs enough in this game at all, which could have made a huge difference. So this play doesn't count, but this play is kind of foreshadowing for what Herbert does the whole game. He doesn't use his legs enough. But no harm, no foul. Play doesn't count. There was a penalty. Next pass attempt is an incomplete pass to Haskins. This was a bad play by Herbert. He got happy feet in the pocket, and it looks like he was worried too much about the pressure that wasn't even there yet. It's a play-action pass, and Herbert knows it's man coverage. But he rushes the throw. He throws a pass to Haskins, who isn't even open, and it isn't even a good throw. He missed Johnston, who was wide open. He was afraid of getting hit, it looks like. Number 72 for Houston does break free from the block, but Herbert has at least 1 second more to throw. If he just stayed in that pocket for 1 second more, he would have saw Johnston and completed the pass, but he got happy feet in the pocket. That's a bad play by Herbert. You can't do that. You can't be afraid of pressure that isn't there yet. That just makes it so much easier for the defense. Next is an incomplete pass, but his arm gets hit again. Guys. Herbert got pressured right away. There wasn't much he could do. The pressure came from the right side, so the only way he could throw was to the left. But he threw off his back foot while being pressured in his face again. Not good by Herbert. That's how you throw picks. You can't keep throwing off your back foot with pressure. That's how picks happen. He needs to just throw that ball towards Haskins and hope he can break a tackle. But it was an incomplete pass. No harm, no foul. It's at the end of the day, whatever. But that could have been even worse. You can't throw off your back foot like that with pressure. Next pass attempt is a completion to Ladd. So it's play action. The first read on this play is to Ladd McConkey. Herbert likes the look and completes the pass to Ladd on the post route. Easy pass. Good, like a play that Herbert should make, but you got to give him credit. Good play. Next is another completion to Ladd McConkey. Play action. Herbert knows he's getting man coverage here when Matlock goes in motion to I formation. You can see the defender once Matlock goes into I formation, you can kind of see the defender follow him. First read on the play is Disley running a drag route. Herbert quickly gets off that route and finds Ladd on a dig route wide open. Good processing by Herbert. That's a good play. Next pass attempt is an incomplete pass to Ladd McConkey. They try and run a play action where Ladd runs like a misdirection flat route, and the defense was not falling for any of that. I don't put that on Herbert. That's a terrible play calling. That's terrible play calling by the Chargers. That's a dumb play call. I don't like it. Nothing Herbert could have done there. I don't like plays where the first read is the only read of the play. I don't know. It's dumb. That's a dumb play. Next pass attempt is an incomplete pass to Quentin Johnston. So Ladd and Chark do a rub route concept where Ladd does a sort of a corner route and Chark does a dig route. You can see it right there. Herbert's first look is toward the middle of the field because he knows Chark will be open for a short period of time because of the rub route. That's how the play is designed. Chark is going to be open because of the rub route. The play could not fully develop, though, because the pass rush got there too quick. Herbert gets pressured here and has to force a tight window throw to Johnson, running a dig. And honestly, it was a good throw by Herbert, right on the money. And Johnson dropped it, which, nothing new. Johnson drops a lot of passes, but either way, even if Johnson catches it, it's a fourth down. On that play, I blame the offensive line. They don't let the play fully develop. Nothing Herbert could have done there. Next is Herbert's first interception of the game. It's a play-action bootleg pass. This was a bad decision by Herbert, and this is where the game flipped in my opinion. Herbert thinks he sees one-on-one coverage, which is why he threw it. But you can see the defender tricked Herbert into thinking he was going to go towards Ladd. You can see the DB back here. You can see the safety. He kind of inches towards Ladd a little bit, and that's why Herbert throws it, but he tricked Herbert. He followed Johnson the whole way. It's just not a good decision to throw off one foot across your body to a wide receiver in Quentin Johnson, who is known to drop the ball. And Herbert underthrew the ball anyway, so Johnson didn't even have a shot to throw it, to catch the ball. It's just not a good decision by Herbert, especially with his play being on. This was a first down play. Immediately after the Chargers got a turnover, Herbert needs to either use his legs or throw the ball away. I blame part coaching, part Herbert here. I think this is a bad play call, but at the end of the day, Herbert has to know to not make that throw. It was good defense by the Texans. They kind of tricked Herbert into throwing that ball, but Herbert has to know better here. You can't make that throw. That's a game-altering interception there. It gives all the momentum back to Houston after they just turned the ball over. Bad play. Next is a pass screen option to Davis here. So the Chargers run a pass screen option on this play. Davis is in motion and is running a bubble screen, while Johnson is running a go route. Herbert reads this play correctly. This was not a bad read by Herbert. The DB follows Johnson initially. So once Herbert sees the DB follow Johnson, he throws the bubble screen to Davis. But it's just a good reaction and good tackle by the DB to stuff the play. Herbert made the right read here, but the defender just made a good play. Nothing you can do there. Next, we got a completion to Ladd McConkey. Herbert knows it's zone pre-snap. No one follows Ladd when he motions. That's how Herbert knows it's zone. Johnston and Chark both run post and sit routes, so they are coming back toward the ball, while Ladd runs a deep crossing route. So Herbert just has to keep his eyes downfield to find the soft spot in the zone, which he does perfectly. A good completion to Ladd McConkey. Good play. Next, we got an incomplete pass to Ladd McConkey. It's a play-action pass. Herbert definitely knows it's zone coverage pretty quickly post-snap because no one is following Ladd, Chark, or Johnson right away. Both Ladd McConkey and Chark are running routes toward the right sideline. Chark is on more of a corner route, while Ladd is on more of an out route. So Herbert has to see where the extra zone defender shades in order to know who to throw the ball to. Herbert makes the right read, but he throws the ball too late here. He hesitates. Number 24 for the Texans turns his back to shade towards Chark. That's when Herbert needs to throw the ball. Instead, Herbert waits a little too long, and by the time Herbert throws the ball, number 24 is already coming back over to Ladd McConkey. Once Herbert sees number 24 go towards Chark, he has to fire that ball right away. I don't know why he hesitates here. I don't get it. I'm putting that on Herbert. I know, is it a tough play to make, but Herbert has to make that read and throw the ball right away. If you want to be a playoff winning quarterback, like I keep saying, you have to make that play. That is a mistake by Herbert. I don't know why he hesitated here. Next, we got an incomplete pass to Dobbins. Herbert has no time to throw the ball here. None of the wide receivers have finished their route by the time he's getting hit. He just gets rid of the ball to avoid the sack and throws it towards Dobbins. Nothing Herbert can do here, but if he throws the ball earlier to Ladd on the play before, it wouldn't have gotten to that play. The play we just showed before, when he should have thrown it to Ladd, this play wouldn't have mattered. So, like I keep saying, compound mistakes, makes it harder for Herbert. If you make the throws, you don't get in these situations. But on this particular play, nothing he can do. Next, we got an incomplete pass to Chark. The pressure got to Herbert way too fast again. The Texans only rushed 4 on this play, and the pass rush still got to Herbert. The O-line has to be better here. Herbert does a good job of keeping his eyes downfield. He first looks for Ladd McConkey across the middle, but he's covered. He then looks for Disley on a hitch, but by the time he looks, he's not open anymore. His best option is to give Chark a chance on a dig route, but he was tightly covered. The pressure got to Herbert. No one was open. I don't blame this on Herbert. Good defense by the Texans. Next, we got an incomplete pass to Ladd McConkey. Herbert has to make this throw. This is another missed throw to Ladd McConkey that Herbert misses. The O-line did a terrible job on this play. The Texans only rushed 4, and the Chargers O-line got bullied again with only a 4-man rush. So that part is not Herbert's fault. He did get pressured. Herbert did a good job of slipping the first sack attempt. He slipped the first sack. Great job. But you got to finish the play. He kept his eyes downfield on Ladd McConkey the whole time. Great. But he botched the throw and overthrew Ladd McConkey again for a potential touchdown. Ladd McConkey ran an absolutely amazing double move that torched the defender, and Herbert was being pressured. I get it. It's a tough play to make. But if you want to win playoff games, you have to make that throw. You cannot overthrow him there. You can't do that, man. That's the second time he's overthrown Ladd. That's a mistake by Herbert there. Next, we got an incomplete pass to Johnson. Herbert got pressured here as well and made a pretty good throw to Johnson on the run while being hit. In my opinion here, on this play, if the Chargers had a good X receiver, like let's say they had DK Metcalf, T. Higgins, anybody like that, anybody that's a true X receiver, I think this might be a completion. This play right here just shows the arm talent that Herbert has. He did a good job of feeling the blindside blitz behind him, and which is why he rolled out. And I think he gave Johnson a pretty good chance to catch this ball. Definitely Herbert could have done here. Like I said, if the Chargers had a better receiver other than Quentin Johnson, this might be a completion. So not Herbert's fault in my opinion. Next, we got a completion to Ladd McConkey. It's a play action pass. Herbert sees the soft coverage, makes a good throw, knowing Ladd will create a separation on the comeback route. Good connection between Ladd and Herbert on this play. Next, we got an incompletion to Johnson. Not much Herbert can do here. No one is open on the play. He first looks for Chark and Ladd running across the middle, but the Texans D was all over that. His only option was to throw Johnson on a zig route, but he wasn't really open. That's a bad play call in my opinion. They had everyone close to the line of scrimmage, so the defense is already stacking the box, and to have Ladd and Chark running routes right next to each other makes it easy for the Texans defense. Not enough spacing on this play at all. This one's not on Herbert. I blame this on the coaches. Bad play call. Next, we got a completion to Davis. So Davis was literally the last read on this play. Texans did a good job with coverage here. Herbert makes the right read on this play, though. He makes the right read. It's just good defense. Herbert first looks for Johnson on the outside, but he's getting pressured. He then looks for Disley on a quick comeback, but he's covered by two guys. He then looks for McConkey on a deeper comeback, but there are defenders all over that as well. His last resort on this play is a little flat pass to Davis. Good defense by Houston. Good read by Herbert. Nothing you can do there. Next one, this isn't really a pass attempt. This is just a sack. I want to talk about the Chargers O-line here. The Chargers O-line really starts to let down Herbert at this point of the game. Herbert brings Haskins into block because he sees Houston is rushing five guys. So it's 5-on-5 here. Oh, it's 6-on-5, It's 6-on-5. The 5 offensive linemen and Haskins. So it's 6-on-5. Herbert sees that. Number 68, Slayer for the Chargers, gets absolutely ran over. Herbert didn't stand a chance. O-line has to be better here. Herbert made the right read to bring an extra blocker in, and they still couldn't give Herbert any time. Terrible. That's terrible. And this next play is where the game officially ended, in my opinion. There was still more time in the game, but as a Chargers fan, you just know when it's over. Herbert's pick 6. This one's on Herbert, 100%. Some people may say Ladd should have caught it. This is on Herbert. Herbert overthrew this ball, plain and simple. Herbert sees how much cushion Ladd has on this play. So he knows the comeback route is going to be open. He knows it. He sees the cushion. He knows it's going to be open. He sees the defender quickly react to Johnson's downfield route as well. He sees the cushion. He sees the defender react to Johnson's route. This is perfect. Herbert processed everything correctly, but for some reason he double clutches a throw, which is why he overthrew the ball. You can see right here, he double clutches it. Why is he double clutching here? Fire that ball to Ladd on the first clutch and you don't overthrow the ball. That double clutch makes you overthrow the ball. For anyone that played baseball or football growing up, you know double clutching usually means a bad throw. Not sure if he didn't trust his eyes. I'm not sure, I don't get why he double clutched, but he needs to let go of the ball. I'm really confused on why Herbert double clutched here. I don't get it. That's a terrible play. And that's basically the game-ending play there. Bad play by Herbert. Next, we got a completion to Ladd. Herbert knows it's zone right away. Once the defender bites on Disley's route to the sideline, he fires it to Ladd in the middle of the zone. Simple, easy completion. Next, we got another completion to McConkey. This is an absolutely great throw by Herbert here. This is a great throw. This is a great play by Herbert. You have to give him credit when credit is due. He first looks for Johnson on a streak right after the play action. He sees that streak is covered, but he knows that area is vacated now. My bad, sorry. So he sees the streak is covered. He then knows that the area is vacated and there will be an opening for Ladd on the deep cross. Because the defender leaves the area to go to Johnson, he knows that Ladd is going to be open in this area. When Herbert throws the ball, McConkey has a linebacker in front of him and a DB behind him. But Herbert puts the ball in between both defenders right on the money. Great throw. That is a great throw by Herbert to put it in between two defenders. That's a throw he should have made earlier in the game when he missed McConkey. You got to make it every time, man. You got to make that throw. You only get a couple opportunities to make throws like that, but I got to give Herbert credit on this one. He made the throw. Next is an interception by Herbert. This was the only interception that was not his fault. This is another drop by Dissly. Dissly, what the hell, man? What is up here? This play was designed for Dissly the whole way. It was designed for him to get the ball in space. It wasn't really a screen, but it was kind of like the same concept as a screen. Get the ball to Dissly, let him break a tackle or two. The throw is right in Dissly's hands, and he drops it again. That's the second drop by Dissly, and both of them were huge plays. That's not on Herbert. Yeah, man, it's tough. It's tough. Next, and it's another Herbert sack, so this isn't really a pass attempt. But I want to show you guys. Look at the offensive line here. Houston only rushes 4 guys, but number 51 goes untouched and runs right by Joe Alt for the easy sack. Literally, me, whoever's watching, any of us could have gotten that sack. He ran right by him. It's ridiculous how bad the Chargers O-line starts playing. Next play. Look at this. Herbert sacked back-to-back times. Houston, once again, only rushes 4 and gets sacked. Number 97 for Houston runs right through the middle untouched. Untouched. Well, anybody watching could have got sacked in back-to-back plays if we were playing in that game. It's ridiculous. So, Herbert definitely made mistakes in this game, but his offensive line did him no help at all. So, this touchdown to Ladd McConkey, honestly, it was not a good throw by Herbert. It was not a smart throw by Herbert, but McConkey saved the day. Herbert knew he needed something downfield after being sacked on first and second down, so he threw it up for Ladd, and Ladd made the play. The smart throw here in normal circumstances is to throw to Dobbins and hope he makes a play, because the Texans followed Stone Smart and the Texans had 2 guys on Ladd. So Dobbins was wide open. So the smart play here is to throw to Dobbins, hope he breaks a tackle or two. But Herbert saw a slight window and threw it up for Ladd, because at this point the Chargers are down big. Herbert knows he needs a big play. And Ladd made a great catch over the defender and took it to the house. But honestly, this could have been another pick by Herbert. But because it's a touchdown, you can't put a bad play on Herbert. Next, we got a completion to Ladd McConkey. At this point, the Texans are just playing a soft zone. Herbert first looks for Davis on a little comeback, but the Houston's D is on that. But Herbert knows Ladd will be open and slings it to him for a completion. So at this point, the Texans defense has such a lead. It doesn't they're just playing soft zone. Next, we got a Quentin Johnston drop. Surprise, surprise. Herbert first looks for Ladd on a hitch route. The defense doesn't bite on that. Johnston is now wide open because the defense is covering Ladd. But of course, he drops it. Typical Johnston. Perfect throw by Herbert. He reads the defense, throws it to Johnston. Johnston drops it. We see that all of Johnston's career. Next, we got another Herbert incomplete pass. Dissly was open when Herbert threw the ball. Once again, the Texans are playing a soft zone because they have a lead. Herbert's arm gets hit as he throws. It honestly wasn't terrible protection by the O-line. If Herbert had one more second, it would have been complete. But the O-line held up here for 3 or 4 seconds. So it's just good defense by Houston. The problem is everyone is running a deep route at this point. Because the Chargers are down so much, every player is running a downfield route. And because of that, there's no check down. There's no easy throw. So Herbert has to throw downfield, which makes it a little bit easier for the Texans defense to get pressure because Herbert has to hold on to the ball a little bit more. But I don't blame the O-line for this one, really. It's just a good defense by Houston. And then the last pass attempt of the game for Herbert, another interception. This is a bad play by Herbert again. 3 of the 4 interceptions by Herbert were on him. The Dissly drop was not on him. This was on him again. Herbert first looks for Stone Smart, but he's double covered. He sees Chark down the sideline and has a step on the defender. Chark has a step on the defender. So it's a good decision by Herbert to throw the ball. He makes the right read. But once again, Herbert chokes the throw. He way underthrew the ball here, and Stingley was able to easily snag it. If he puts the ball out in front of Chark, he has more of a chance here. And worst case scenario, if you throw it over Chark, it's incomplete. Worst case scenario, you overthrow him on this play. That's the game. The Texans run out the clock and win the game after that interception. So after rewatching the game, I will say I don't feel as bad about Herbert as I initially did when the game was live. Because there were some factors that were not his fault. I wasn't in love with the play calling at some points of the game. The offensive line did Herbert no favors. We saw that in the video. The offensive line was terrible. And then the last factor that wasn't his fault. Will Dissly, man. 2 huge drops in the game. Beginning of the game, Herbert makes a good play. Dissly is wide open for a potential touchdown, drops it. Later in the game, Dissly drops another one, turns into an interception. So those were not Herbert's fault. And another thing I realized while rewatching was that 3 of Herbert's 4 interceptions came on the last 10 pass attempts of the game. So that makes me feel a little bit better because, he's chasing points, he has to force throws. So that makes the interceptions not as bad, but still, can't throw picks. There's no excuse for interceptions. But now, let's blame Herbert. Just off the top of my head, there's 6 bad throws in the game that he made. The 6 I'm talking about, obviously the 3 interceptions, the one where he double clutched, overthrew Loud McConkey, the one where he's rolling out, throws across his body to Johnston, and then the one to end the game where he underthrows DJ Chark. Those are the 3 interceptions, bad throws. The other 3 I'm talking about were all missed throws to Loud McConkey. Beginning of the game, McConkey runs a good route, and like I said in the video, it had to be a perfect layered throw, but Herbert misses it. That's a throw you have to make. In the middle of the game, McConkey runs a good route against zone defense. He's open for a couple seconds. Herbert throws it late, and it turns into an incompletion that could have been a 20, 30-yard gain. And then the last one, later in the game, Herbert does a good job avoiding the sack, but he overthrows Ladd McConkey for a potential touchdown. So those are the 6 throws I'm talking about out of 32 pass attempts. That's almost 20% of Herbert's passes were missed throws. Do players like Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Joe Burrow have 6 missed throws in the game, let alone a playoff game? No, they do not. So after watching this game, me as a Chargers fan do not feel comfortable that Herbert can lead us to a Super Bowl. Can he prove me wrong? Can he improve? 100%. But I think we're going into Herbert's 6th year in the league. And that's a lot of years, man, to really show us nothing. So as a fan, I'm not confident that Herbert can do it for us. But like I said, he can prove me wrong. Let me know what you guys think. If you're a Chargers fan, if you're just a Herbert critic, because I know there's a lot of Herbert critics, can Justin Herbert lead the Chargers to a Super Bowl? Let me know in the comments, guys. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I love all of you.